Welcome to Board Game Archaeologists, where we play time-worn games from the past. I'm Hunter.
I'm Rob.
And today we're looking at Swahili.
Swahili, made by Milton Bradley in 1968. It was chosen as the name of this game to symbolize the common heritage of the African people.
Well, you start out with one of the four tribes, the 12 tribal icon pieces, each being 3 in a row for those first 4 rows.
Your board has 12 spaces. The 12th one is the sacrificial hole. The first 6 spaces are all safe spaces. Nobody can capture you in those 6 spaces. These 5 spaces, you're out in the open.
To move, you take a row with multiple people, or if you're moving only one. But in this case, we'd be moving 3 people because there's 3 in this row. So 1, 2, and 3. And if you land on a space where there's more of your tribal icons, you can choose to move again, or not. In this case, if I chose to move again, it would go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, as he did that, he left himself open to be captured. If you have a single character on one of the lines, that character is open and can be captured. So if I were to go 1, 2, 3, this character is free, and I would capture him, and I would put him in my compound. Now, if you were playing with more than 2 players, there's the potential of having multiple players on each row, and you get to capture each as long as there's a single character in each row.
To put your people into the sacrificial hole, you usually need to have a few to launch them in. So, for example, if I had 3 people up here, I could move them 1, 2, and then 3. If I had any more, a 4th person in that row, he would then go all the way back to this starting row to try again.
And that keeps it going, and it also separates your characters really well. So your points are 10 to get it in the sacrificial hole, and those are 10 that you gain on your own. And then anything captured is you gaining it by capturing somebody else. So it's kind of an offense-defense kind of fun thing. What'd you like about the game?
Well, I think the aesthetic is one of the strongest things about the game for me, because a big chunk of it is kind of knowing how to count your pieces right and knowing if someone's going to try for a certain thing. It's kind of like chess in that sense, where you're always trying to think of what your opponent will do, because to capture other people's pieces is making sure that they aren't getting a lot of points.
Right.
And even if it's less than, putting yourself into the hole, it's still better to kind of like play a little defensively.
I really love the artwork. I'm a plastic guy, and anything made of plastic I'm a huge fan of. I think it's a great design. And at first it was a little tricky. It's a numbers game, for sure. And once you get the hang of it, it really becomes fun. But I also believe that if I were to play a lot, and we played a lot of games together, because you only have the 4 things to start with, you'd start figuring out some basic moves pretty quickly. And I think if you had an equal player, it would be very close at the end, because you know your numbers better. Because it really is a solid numbers game.
Because that is something that I kind of like and dislike about it, is that there's a lot of variable in how long a round can last. If you're playing really well and you capture a bunch of the other person's pieces right away, it's going to be a much shorter game.
Right, but if you're really being strategic and defensive, it can take quite a while to play. Mm-hmm. You can play that individual move, because once you start moving back from, say you had the 5 people up here and you went 1, 2 in the pit, and then 3, 4, 5, you've got 3 people on individual spaces, which means you can only move 1 player up 1, but you're landing on the 2, so then you get to move again. So you really do get to move at least 3 moves that time.
Yeah. Is there anything that you didn't particularly enjoy, or?
No, it's funny, but at first the number thing, because I'm not a numbers guy, I'm really dyslexic, and I tend to cry about being dyslexic and numbers. But, once you get the hang of it, it really is kind of fun. It's a quick, easy game, and I think pretty much anybody can learn it. I think it might take, somebody younger a couple beatings, to do it, because you'd just be going, 1, 2, 3, 4, and doing really well. But I think it's all in all, it's a super fun game, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I think it's worth giving it a shot, because I haven't really played much like it before. And so I think there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching.
Yeah, and if you want to know more about us, check us out at toyarchaeology.com. You can also find us on Facebook on a group and a page. And don't forget to like us on YouTube and subscribe.
See you next time.
Bye.